Cell block 4. There's a town, we'll go right through the floor. We'll be in Mexico a week and a half. We're gonna sit back and laugh. Oh yeah. 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 Look like the end for me. The last meal's coming, it's a chicken and rice and beans. Ow, it's a drag, I know, but everybody's gotta go. You're waiting for me down below. I'm coming home. Oh yeah, I'm coming home. Oh yeah, I'm coming home. Oh yeah.
I'm not the same Jerry Blank who informed on those blind orphans. I'm not the same Jerry Blank who revealed the hiding place of those Guatemalans such as yourself. And I'm not the same Jerry Blank who took a crap in the Fleischmann's holly bushes last night. Maybe sexual harassment is wrong. I got you right in the cranberry. Look, I rode that brown tiger for 20 years. It took me through a carnival of hell. I became the plaything of Indonesian businessmen. By the end, I was barely human. But I'm willing to give it another shot. Well, you and I can focus on what makes you and me click. Tess?
You're crazy.
Pee on me. It's sexy. It makes me as damp as a cellar down there. All mildewy. Enter if you dare.
Can I get some water? I'm a little dry.
I'm plenty wet. Seriously. I'm not covering for her, Craig. I'm dealing with this the same way I dealt with my own alcoholism and drug addiction. With lies and delusion.
Get serious about this.
Or what, huh? You gonna hit me? You wanna take a poke at me?
No, I'm not gonna hit you, Jerry.
You don't wanna beat me or screw me? What kind of marriage is this? Bring a book.
I'm not an Indian. It's just a coincidence that I have a love of gambling and booze and a knack for catching syphilis.
Yeah, everyone in school says...
I like the pole and the hole. And right now, I'm as moist as a snack cake down there. So, why don't you come to my crib after school, and I'll make your pinky all stinky.
Try to make some coffee. It's either I go out for coffee or I make coffee. I'm going to be honest with you. The amount of money that I just spent on this plane ticket, on the condoms, on the new clothing, it's astronomical. Astronomical. All right. Not now. Johnny sleep. Oh my God. So last night, Tina was extremely upset with me. He tried doing the hump. I told him no. I've been telling him no for the past week, and now this dog is furious. Let's see if I can get him on camera, and you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. He's wandered into the living room. Let's see what he's doing. What's going on? What are you doing? You following Tino around? You think Tino's cool? Wishbone? Tino's not that cool. Tino's been acting like an asshole. That's right, I'm talking about you, Pecker. What? What's the problem? What? What do you want from me? Huh? Get him, Wishbone. Get him. Wishbone, smell his ass. So Wishbone will follow Tino around smelling his butthole all day, which is weird. Believe it or not. Great job, Tino. Can I help you? Can I help you with something? Are you mad at me? What's wrong? I think he wants to go out. He was just out running around. And this guy was following him around, and sometimes Tino goes to the street, and I say, no, get over here. Wishbone, you're getting fat, dude. Ugh. Ugh. I want to take another nap. I had this awesome clip. It won't load. It's saying it's too big. Too big for YouTube. This woman at the interview, I guess she wanted to be more black. A white woman. She was taking injections to color her skin. And I was like, this is Nick and Jess. Nick and Jess did this and got so much shit for it. Make this coffee. So, you want to be grinding those beans. That's what I'll do. Let's grind this shit up. What are you barking at, dude? Yesterday, I did something I probably shouldn't have done, and that was trying to hunt down Wingstar. As Jasmine Star told me that her and Wingstar were going to be doing a show together, and I told Jasmine, I said, Jasmine, can you please reach out to her and tell her let's do a meetup or something, like a live stream? She goes, I'll try to tell her. So I was like, you know, I don't know exactly where she lives, but I know where she lives. I used to party over there. That used to be a party spot for me. So I drove over there, drove up and down through the complex, and didn't see her. And I thought to myself when I got home, I was like, wow, I'm lucky that I didn't see her. Because last time I tried doing this, she got very upset, very upset. I'm not saying she wouldn't want to meet up with me. I'm just saying I think that, you know, and I don't have a crush on Wingstar. I think Wingstar is great. It just, you know, she lives close by, so I figured I would just go over there. Not like I'm going to her place. I just maybe want to bump into her while she's walking around, because we know that she does walk around that place. All right, hold on. Big hit. Big hit. Maybe we'll go to maybe we'll do a live stream from Bear Mountain. All right, guys, come on, stop. You guys want to go to Bear Mountain? Perkins Tower, and we can see Wishbone and Tino walk around in nature. There probably shouldn't be anyone out there either. I don't think so. Place opens at 8, so basically what I'm going to do, it's 7 o'clock now. Drink my coffee, take a shit, brush my teeth. I'm not going to take a shower because it's going to be gross up there. And then, you know, we'll do the live stream from the mountain. So these dogs are furious right now. I had so much spaghetti last night, guys. So much. Then I had a thing of ice cream. And I slept like a baby. Let's put this in there. was from all the carbohydrates. The carbohydrates put me to sleep. This can go in the garbage. This can go in here. This can also go in here. This can go back in here. All right, now let's get some coffee. Got some leche for my coffee. I don't know if you guys have ever seen the greatest television show ever created. And I think it still holds up today. That's this show called Strangers with Candy. That and the first couple of Aqua Teen Hunger Forces. And Aqua Teen Hunger Force got extremely gay. Extremely gay. But Strangers with Candy was the best. Let's check it out.
I'm not the same Jerry Blank who informed on those blind orphans. I'm not the same Jerry Blank who revealed the hiding place of those Guatemalans such as yourself. And I'm not the same Jerry Blank who took a crap in the Fleischmann's holly bushes last night. Maybe sexual harassment is wrong.
I got you right in the cranberry.
Look, I rode that brown tiger for 20 years. It took me through a carnival of hell. I became the plaything of Indonesian businessmen. By the end, I was barely human. But I'm willing to give it another shot. Well, you and I can focus on what makes you and me click. Toast?
You're crazy.
Pee on me. It's sexy. It makes me as damp as a cellar down there. All mildewy. Enter if you dare.
Can I get some water? I'm a little dry.
I'm plenty wet. Seriously. I'm not covering for her, Craig. I'm dealing with this the same way I dealt with my own alcoholism and drug addiction. With lies and delusion.
Get serious about this.
Or what, huh? You gonna hit me? You wanna take a poke at me?
No, I'm not gonna hit you, Jerry.
You don't wanna beat me or screw me? What kind of marriage is this? Bring a book.
I'm not an Indian. It's just a coincidence that I have a love of gambling and booze and a knack for catching syphilis.
Yeah, everyone in school says.
I like the pole and the hole. And right now, I'm as moist as a snack cake down there. So, why don't you come to my crib after school, and I'll make your pinky all stinky.
Yeah, she reminds me of Bombshell. Pee on me. Oh man, I'm gonna start telling everyone pee on me. No, that was a great show. I'm trying to think of what other shows were that good. I don't think there was a show that was that good. Such a good show. Oh my god. Let me finish this cup of coffee and then we're out of here. We're gonna go up to the mountains. Bear Mountain, Perkins Tower. I don't know if any of you have been there, but it's a great place to to wander around and do drugs. It was kind of a bummer the last time I went there because, I used to see these paths that would lead out into the mountain. I'd be like, oh, let's go on that path. Now I don't dare. Because of my back. What a bummer. I got a phone call yesterday from someone, and they're like, hey, if you're not doing anything next week, maybe we can go hiking. And I was like, oh, dude, I haven't talked to you in a while. And this guy's like, what's wrong? I was like, well, I'll tell you later. I was even too tired to explain it to him. And he lives up by the Indian casinos. That's where all the real hiking is. Hey. The real hiking is definitely up in New York. I've never found any good hiking out in Jersey. You can hop on the Appalachian Trail and get some really good hiking. I mean, I can't imagine. I think the Appalachian Trail cuts through Jersey. I think. Maybe it goes through Pennsylvania. I don't know. Every once in a while, you run into a bunch of losers on the Appalachian Trail, and you can tell they're coming down from Maine or something like that. Like, no one cares, dude. I used to care about that. I'd be like, wow, let's do that one. Let's do that 1 year. I think it takes like 6 months if you want to do it properly. If you want to do it like an asshole, you could probably do it in 3. I'm pretty sure it's 6. Yeah, it's Maine. That's Maine to Georgia, right? Or something like that. I remember 1 year I was serious about doing it. And I was just going to take off from Bear Mountain and just do it, go down south. And at the time I just got a root canal. And the dentist was like telling me, he goes, well, what happens if like you have like you need a root canal on the trail? I was like, oh yeah. And like I remember going back there and being like, hey, you think you can hook me up with some medicine? Like just in case that happens? He's like, no. Like even antibiotics? Then I found out that you can go to Petco and buy antibiotics for fish, but it's the same thing. The same exact thing. Just got to make sure that you don't have a viral infection. You can't mix the two or something like that. And again, I'm not a doctor, so I had to do some research about viral and what other ever kind of infections that they give you. Viral and what kind of? There's viral and then there's I don't know, bacterial. Is that it? I don't know. This weed really does a number on me. It makes me absolutely retarded. I keep smoking it. Oh. And are you supposed to hold on to the weed smoke in your lungs for as long as possible? Is that really a thing? I bet there's a lot of myths about marijuana. A lot of myths. Like how it could take away your pain. I'll tell you right now, it doesn't take away my pain. It's never taken away my pain. You know what takes away my pain? The Tylenol, the 800, or the ibuprofen, 800 milligrams. That stuff's great. I've been taking one a day. No problem. I really do think it's that mattress. Because every single time I wake up, I get out of that bed and I'm like, oof, oof. I think I'm actually going to start. I'm going to buy something, put underneath the mattress to maybe toughen it up. All right, come on. Guys, come on, man. What are you guys doing? No. No. Okay, get off of me right now. Get off. No. Tino, get out of here. Oh! No! Ow! Ow! Tino! Ow! Ow! No! Tino! Okay. Stop. Stop biting. Ow! Ow! Tino! Stop it. Good boy. See? He eventually calms down. Right, Wishbone? Yes. You're such a sweetheart, Wishbone. Yes. You're not like that mean Tino that tries to bite me all the time. You just want kisses and hugs. Yeah, because you're a good boy. Unlike that disgusting animal over there, Tina, that will bite you nonstop. Good. Hey, Tino. Tino. He doesn't even listen to me. Fuck you. Tino. Hey, what's up? What's this? Wishbone, look over here. No, these dogs don't care. These dogs don't listen to me. They don't respect me. Tino, stop eating. Tino. Watch this very well-behaved, obedient Wishbone. Wishbone, come here. Wishbone, come by Daddy. Very obedient. Let's put these Crocs on. Get it? No! What did I say? No. Tino! You're not, it's not happening. I've been denying him leg love for the past week. And he's getting very angry. Hi, Wishbone. You finally responded to my calls? Wow. Get out of here. Leave me alone. Tino? Get out of here. Hey! Okay. It's okay. No. Stop it. Thank you. Why don't you go in the other room? How about you do that? Tino? Please go in the other room and leave me alone. Over there. Get out of here. Ooh. Hit it. Get lost. Ah! Stop. Nope. Look. See if he goes for the leg. Oh, my leg. I need to stretch it out. Mm. No. Get. Wishbone, did you enjoy that food that I left in your bowl? Okay, you gotta get the fuck down, dude. So basically, if Tino doesn't get my leg, what he does is he'll come over here, jump on my lap, right? And then start giving me these like really creepy, seductive kisses to the point where he's trying to get in my mouth. Wishbone doesn't do that. Wishbone gives like puppy kisses. King Fatness. He's always eating too. Always. And look at the nuts on that dog. Wow. No. And guys, this is every day. Every day with them. Crybaby Tino, crybaby Wishbone, wanting attention all the time. And then Tino gets frustrated and starts biting Daddy. That's right, Tino. You're so frustrated. You're so frustrated. You just want the leg. Let's see if he hops on it. See, now he knows better. I've been training him with no. Tino, you're not getting the leg, dude. I'm sorry. It's not going to happen. I'm so low on my weed. I think I actually don't have any left. Well, I don't have that much left. But right now, technically, this is Frankenstein. This is the shit left over. And I've been smoking the shit left over, and I think that's what's been getting me fucked up. There's nothing wrong with a good Frankenstein joint. Oh, you can throw up? Oh, that's another thing Wishbone does. He just starts puking because he eats so much. He'll just start throwing up. Look at his balls. Wishbone, we're never getting you fixed or neutered. You're going to have the biggest balls in town. Good job. Tino's going to be so jealous. Tino's going to be so jealous. He's going to say, what is that? What is that, Daddy? You don't have to tell him. Be like, you once had those. Remember? This is the worst. When they find a toy that one of them is going to get mad about. Uh-oh. Tino found a toy in the corner of the kitchen. And it's always like the nastiest toy too. That's their favorite. It's the nastiest one. So what happens is Wishbone takes the toy. Tino remembers that there's a toy in the house, and he'll go get another one. And then Wishbone will start chasing around the house because now he wants that toy because Tino's got it. Very strange. Tino, get it. Go get your toy. Go get your toy. Go get a toy. Go get it. Oh, watch. Tino with the steal. Get that fucking thing away from me. No. No. That was disgusting. That's a disgusting toy. Go get one of your nicer ones, Tino. Watch this. Ah! Hi, babies. Hi, baby boys. I remember one time, Craig's like, I think I'm going to get a dog. I'm like, no, dude, don't get a dog. Do not get a dog. So if he got a dog, I guarantee you'd get like some kind of like pit bull or something like that. You know, he'd constantly be screaming at this dog. And this dog would eventually get out and attack someone in Florida. Unlike my delicate prince right here, Tino. Very delicate, yes. And his fat counterpart, Wishbone. Very fat. Today is the day, guys. What a day. Coffee's almost done. I'm going to have to go get a cup of coffee. Another hit of this weed. I'm going to get scary stoned today. See, you guys can see the plume. Oh, yeah. Woo! Getting all lit up on a Sunday morning. The best song about Sunday, in my opinion, is that song Sunday Morning Coming Down. And I remember I used to go to this dive bar. And I thought it would be funny to go to the jukebox and play the most depressing songs. The most depressing songs I could find. And I would sit back, order a beer, and just watch everyone to these songs. And I used to do it every weekend, because I thought it was so entertaining to watch these depressing people talk to each other and walk and like stumble around the bar and play pool. So I used to go to the jukebox and I would play Sunday Morning Coming Down, crying, and there was some Merle Haggard song. There's a really bad Merle Haggard song. I forgot what the fuck it was. But anyway, there's another one that I found that was really depressing by Roy Orbison. It was Life Fades Away. And it's basically about how, you know, he's going to die. He's dying. And it's like, see you later. Yeah, if you guys have a local dive bar I'm telling you, go to the local dive bar, either play Crying or Sunday Morning Coming Down, and just sit back and watch. We used to go to this bar called the Parkside Tavern in Pearl River, New York, and we used to call it the Trailer Parkside Tavern. Ha 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 ha. Hey! Stop! Very, very, very nasty place where bad things always happened. Anyone that was leaving that bar that night was going to have to be living, was going to be haunted by the memories of that bar. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. That's where you go to get your memories haunted. Hey, Leo, what's up? I seen you live and wanted to say hello. I hope everything's good, Leo. Or Blazing. I haven't seen you in a while. So, anyway, yeah, so that was the local dive bar that we used to go to. There was another one, Lou's, in Hillsdale. But that place was too coked up. Too coked up. You couldn't go in there and play that. They'd be like, what the fuck? Again? I actually got that once at the Parkside Tavern. It used to be called the High Wheeler. But anyway, yeah, if you want to get some drugs, I actually took Molasses there. I was in Molasses, so you gotta check this place out. We walk in there, right? Everyone stops talking. Everybody. And people are just staring at each other, not saying a word. I'm like, what the fuck? But Molasses telling you this place, something's wrong with this place. This place is fucked up. This is real bad mojo here. And she's like, yeah. She's like, what the hell's going on? Everything's great. Hope all is good with you. Yes, of course. Blazing. I'm about to actually head out to Portland and Nashville, Tennessee. I'll be in Nashville, Tennessee, October 1st, introducing Nathaniel Ratliff to all of Nashville on October 1st, 2021. So me and Molasses had a beer, very uncomfortable. I was like, let's get up and move to the other side of the bar. So we go to the other side of the bar. You see people just walking outside, talking outside. I'm like, yeah, they didn't want us to hear something. They're like a gang in here or something, a gang of delinquents. And if I was like one of those people who sold pills and stuff like that, I would go to that bar. I would go to that bar and just hang out there all day. But I guarantee you can make a killing. Oh, go see the Pill Man. Where's that? Where is he? Oh, he's at the Parkside Tavern. They were up to some shady shit in there. I think Molasses was like, we're never going back there ever again, right? I'm like, no. I just want to let you know that was the place where I used to go to get laughs. I used to walk in there. And there was always characters in there. Always characters in there. Like drunk older people too. I didn't understand that until I became about maybe 31, 32. We went, I lived up the street with those Jewish kids, right? So from this bar, or from these two bars. And we walked down there and we could either go to one or the other. And I was like, let's go to the other one because that one's an old man's bar. That's an old man's bar, dude. I don't want to start the night off over there. That's where we end the night. So he's like, yeah. So we go into this bar that I wanted to go into. And I'm like, oh, right away. Everyone stops talking. And they're like, who let these old motherfuckers in here? It was all kids. And when I mean kids, I mean like probably, 19 to 22 at the most. And then I grabbed my friend Justin. I said, dude, no, this isn't right. I think we belong over there now. And we turned around in the bar, walked out, and I could feel every eye in the bar piercing me, piercing my skin. So we go to Lou's, and we just put a tune on, and of course you get a beer at Lou's, and then you got to take a piss, right? And you walk into the bathroom, and there's like 10 people in there. You're like, what the fuck? And everyone's like, oh, yep, dude, go right there, man. Go right there, no problem. I'm thinking to myself, what are like 10 dudes doing in the bathroom? It's a Coke bar. If you're a Coke dealer, probably make a lot of money at Lou's. Oh, man, you know where Dr. Feelgood is? Yeah, he's hanging out at Lou's. How is Molasses? Haven't seen her in a while either. Molasses is doing good. I think that, she was doing a lot better than last time I talked to her. So we'll see how it works out. Listen, she can't go out there. Right? She can't sell all her stuff. Go out there, have it not work out, right? And then possibly have a nervous breakdown on the way back. It can't happen. She had to take care of that. And now I think she's got a more positive outlook on it. And, she's trying. So. She actually got hooked up with a pretty decent place, it sounds to me. But we'll see how that all pans out. But you won't be seeing her for a while, just so you know that. You won't be seeing her for a while. I can guarantee you that. I mean, if everything pans out, you won't be seeing her for a while. And no, Anderson did not get her pregnant. Now I feel bad because someone told me the reason why Anderson isn't around is because he's actually nervous that he got Molasses pregnant. Anderson, there's no baby. A lot of flaky fucking people over here. I'm not saying that Molasses is one. I mean, she's taking care of her shit. But like people like Anderson, just you can't get anyone to do anything. The only person I ever got to like kind of play along was Bergs and John. That was it. John comes to me and he's like, dude, let's do this death thing, right? I'm like, I don't know how that's going to work, but yeah, of course, John, whatever you want, So Berg catches wind of this, right? Bergs catches wind of this. And then Berg's like, oh, this is great. I'm like, what the fuck don't I see here? And we all teamed up for a while and made some epic shit. It was very good. I thought it was very good. But what happens is Bergs loses interest because of his anger issues, then fucking disappears. Or Botter gets pissed off at something and then starts attacking you. Or fucking Michelle K finds another community. Just very flaky people. The only one that I can really count on is John Camillo. John Camillo is the only one. Your streams have always been fun. They always make me laugh. Thank you, Blazing. Blazing, listen, I know I apologized for this before. I'm sorry that happened, Blazing. The guy had access to the account. That's 100% fact, right? I mean, I gave him admin rights. And, on that day, I showed you guys over and over again that my phone was in the possession of the Bergen County Prosecutor's Office. When I get back, I believe it was Jennifer Marie. or Jasmine Star, someone reached out to me and they're like, what the fuck? And I respond back to them like, what's going on? They're like, you don't even have a channel anymore, dude. It's gone. I'm like, what happened? And they're like, it was just tons of porn, and they doxed Blazing and all this crap. And I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. You gotta be fucking kidding me. It was my fault. I apologize. I never thought you were a bad person or anything, Blazing. So. I only really think there's one bad person. One bad person. I'm about to meet him very soon. Very soon. In the Sherwood part of town. Sherwood. I'll be circling around the blocks nonstop until I find that red Ranger. And then I'll be parked outside that red Ranger until someone decides to walk out of his house and light up a cigar in that red Ranger. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean up against the driver's side door, right? Start knocking on the window, giving the guy the finger, and Pete will go from tire to tire, slashing them. Slashing them. Can you imagine that? The guy's trying to push the door open to fucking, stop everyone from destroying his car. And I just get, and then he starts up his truck, and by the time he starts up his truck, the fourth tire has just been slashed. Just been slashed. And he puts into drive and does a big burnout, and the tire is fucking rip off the fucking the wheel rims. We get back in my car and speed off. Oh, Pete's good. I talked to Pete like for hours and hours on end. And I even talked to her and I fall asleep on her. So I have a feeling this is going to be a very good relationship, like when we meet up, because there's nothing like having someone try to talk to you while you're trying to go to sleep, because your brain just zones out and your body gives up and you just pass out. It's such a good feeling. And then knowing that someone that you really trust is wandering the house awake, patrolling the hallways and the kitchens and bathrooms. And sometimes you hear a crash. And you're like, oh, you okay? Yeah. Sorry. Like that. It's like, oh, no, I just want to make sure. And then like a couple seconds later, it's Dave, hey, and then it's a question, and I'm like, I don't know. Maybe do this, maybe do that. And then you fall asleep. You give the one answer that they want to hear and you just fall asleep. Pete is great. I like doing that too with Schmeckel. Yeah. I'm glad you're over there at Schmeckel's. Because I really think you know what, Blazing? Is there any way that you can get in touch with him and tell him that I'm interested in doing a show with him? Because I'm surprised that no one else wants to do a show with this guy. This guy's fucking awesome. Schmeckel was great. I mean, listen, it might not work out, but Schmeckel was great with Michelle. He was amazing. I think, there's certain people, not only do I enjoy doing live streams with, but I just enjoy talking to, period. And that's Anderson Henderson. Anderson Henderson, you can have a very long conversation with because he holds on to every word, and he when he hears a word, it triggers him, and he's like, yeah, just like this, right? It's like having a conversation in high school when you're very young and you're talking about stuff that doesn't make sense, and then you guys both agree on it. Okay, thank you, Blazing. Okay, stop. Leave him alone. Good boy, Tino. So Wishbone will walk up to Tino. He'll walk up to Tino and just start biting him, like gnawing at his back legs, and Tino just doesn't do anything. He'll gnaw at his lips. Who's that? Is Johnny here? Who's here, Tino? Get him. Is Melton John here, Tino? You want to get Melton John? Wishbone, what are you doing? He's like licking the wall. Get up, Wishbone! Jesus Christ. Oh my God, what did you do? What did you do? Yo, you can't be trusted, dude. You cannot be trusted. Oh my God. No! I fucking knew it. I knew it. That's what Tino was trying to warn me about. You're fucking disgusting, dude. Tino, I know it wasn't you. Oh. He took a big fat shit in the living room. I fucking knew it. Tino came over to me and he was like trying to tell me something. I fucking knew it. Thank you, Tino. You're a good dog. Thank you. Yes. Yes, he made me a present. Wishbone. So he always goes in this one spot, right? And so I was like, oh, I can do this. So let me put a wee pad down. Bad idea. Bad idea. I left this wee pad down, right? I come back from getting coffee or whatever, and I'm noticing like it looks like it snowed in the house. I'm like, what the hell is this? I go in there and they just tore apart the wee pad, like to shreds. And I kind of have a feeling I know what's going on. I think it's more like Wishbone grabs it. Tino sees that and he's like, no, you can't do that. So he'll jump over there and he'll try to grab the wee pad from Wishbone. Like, no, don't do that. Daddy's gonna be mad. And then Wishbone's like, I don't care. And then he starts thrashing. And now Tito's trying to pick up the pieces and put them back together because he knows that Daddy's gonna be mad. I'm pretty sure that's how it goes down. How old is Wishbone now? When did I get him? In December? I think he's an October dog. So he's almost a year. He's still a puppy. But he's very fat. Very fat. And he's got very nasty, gnarly, terribly large balls. He walks like he has big balls, too. There's something weird because he's, so Wishbone's mostly white. He's a white and merle. And the skin underneath, the white skin, is pink, So every once in a while, he'll go outside, he'll run around, and it looks like he gets sunburnt. He comes in with these very red testicles. And sometimes there's a part of his one testicle in the back. It's got this bump on it, a lump. Yes, he's bigger than Tino, right? I think he's also double Tino's weight. I picked this dog up, and it's like, oh, why are you this fucking fat? It's like having a fat child. You can't really pick them up, and you don't want to. We used to have this. Well, yeah, I'm not really friends with him anymore. I haven't seen him in 30 years. So Craig remembers this kid, and after elementary school, we'd go to this place called Aldo's. We'd go to Aldo's and get a couple slices of pizza and play Operation Wolf, Outrun, all these great video games, right? And I didn't realize this until I was maybe a freshman in high school. But I was like, every single time we went in there, the pizza guys would make fun of this kid. Because this kid was extremely large. So I remember we'd always go in there, the guys would be smiling, These guys, they didn't speak English, kind of spoke English. Like, what's up, Aldo? And he'd be like, Chris, hey, you want a whole pie today, Chris? And he goes, no, not today, Aldo. And we would go into the back. We would get the fountain drinks, and then we'd hop in Outrun. Yeah, I believe that was the game. And I would suck at Outrun, so then I would just go to Operation Wolf, and I would get beat over there, and I'd be like, all right, let's go home. Let's get out of here. I was always terrible at video games. Terrible. Are you going to get him fixed? Yes, after a year. That's what I did with Tino. So I don't want him getting testicular cancer. That's what everyone will say. Oh, he's going to get cancer of the nuts. Hey, shut up. Who cares? Everyone gets cancer. Then you cut them off. You don't cut them off when they're not bothering you. I had this friend, right? These people were very smart. Very Jewish, by the way. Very Jewish. Very smart, very well-educated people. And one day, this guy's wife comes to me and she goes, so, I don't know if Dan told you, but we're actually thinking about having my breasts removed. I was like, what? Like, yeah, she's like, my mother had passed away from it. It's something that haunts me all the time. I have a hard time, whatever. I'm like, well, are you doing this because you're scared? She goes, yeah, I don't want to get cancer. I don't want to die like my mother. And I'm looking at this girl. I'm like, you could probably get checked out every couple months. Like she's the type of person that if she had an appointment, she wouldn't miss it. You know what I mean? Very Jewish. Great people. And yeah, she's like, I'm gonna get him removed. I don't know if she ever got him removed. I don't think so. I think she was a psychiatrist or psychologist or whatever. She one night, right? Check this out. We're at this party. And I think she was trying to diagnose me with something, right? And she goes, hey, if I give you something would you take it and have a conversation with me? And I'm thinking to myself, like what kind of hippie shit are you talking about? You know, I'm not taking any kind of like psychedelic, drugs. And she's like, no. She goes, if I were treating you right now, this is what I would give you. But I just want to see how you act when I give it to you. And I said, I remember trusting these people so much because this woman was professional. She wasn't, And I said, sure, I'll do that. And she goes, it was a little pill she described to me. I think it was, I don't know what the hell it was, right? She goes, it will kick in half an hour, or whatever, and we'll have this conversation in half an hour. So I take it. I remember watching TV, and she goes, okay, Dave, it's time, And she starts talking to me and starts asking me questions. And I remember thinking, every time I answered a question, I had it all planned out. Like it was, I knew exactly what I was going to say. My brain wasn't racing. I was very mellowed out. And I had one of the best conversations I've ever had in my life with this woman. And I really wish, and she, she even agreed. She's like, I would probably go see a doctor and maybe get on this medication. And at the time, I was like, I'm not going to any fucking doctor. Yeah, that seems extreme to remove your breast because you're scared. Well, I don't know if it's extreme or smart. Get rid of all these body parts that grow cancer. Just get rid of them. I mean, we remove wisdom teeth, we remove gallbladders, we remove appendixes, whatever. Just get rid of them. Imagine if they could get rid of the pancreas. There'd be no pancreatic cancer. Or get rid of the lungs. No lung cancer. I don't think she was doing a drug trial, Lazy. I think she she saw something in me when she was studying me without my knowledge, and she didn't diagnose me with anything, but I think she did in her head. And she's like, "Oh, can you try this?" Because you know what, she had it. I think she was on it. But these people were vegans, right? And they were very strict vegans. They didn't even, if you had a grill and you were going to barbecue, Dan would come over and watch you cook the food to make sure that the hamburger meat stayed on one side and, the vegetables stayed on another. He'd watch it the whole time. So, they get pregnant, they have a baby, and they're raising the baby vegan. Something happened, I don't know what it was, right? The kids started getting like all these hives and allergic reactions, so they thought it was the food that they were, feeding the kid. The doctor told them that the kid was undernourished. They're like, what? Because you got to remember, they're very intelligent people, right? And they're very health conscious. Like they're the type of people, if they think they're getting fat, they're going on some, diet or something like that. They're going to get a gym membership. So they wanted to see their fit baby, I guess. They wanted to see every ripping muscle or whatever. And the doctor's like, no. This kid, I think, was maybe 2 at the time, 3. And the doctor's like, no, you got to start feeding your kid like proteins, like meat and stuff like that. And they're like, no, we don't believe in that. And the doctor's like, I'm just letting you know this is why your kid's going through this. So I think they started feeding their kid meat. That also happened to another vegan friend of mine. The guy kept going to the doctor, right? And I said, I was living with the guy at the time, and he was always going to the doctor. I'm like, so dude, are you okay? Like, this is like your 5th time this week. And he's like, yeah, so he's like, I was giving blood and I passed out, right? And I went to the doctor about it. I told the doctor, and the doctor said, well, they did a BMI test on this guy and all this stuff. They go, you're technically on the chart. On the chart, your body type is a third world body type. That's how he described it. Third world, right? So whatever happened, he got all these tests done. Now this kid's starting to eat meat. Now he's starting to eat meat. So I guess certain people react to it better than others. Maybe I would be a good vegan. I don't know. Because I don't think my body needs that much protein. I don't think my body needs it. Maybe that guy, but not my body. I know, Blazing. That was my point. You can get cancer anywhere. But, I think that there are certain cancers that are hereditary. So, I think that's what the concern was. The mother passed away from that, and she was nervous. I can never go vegan. I like my meat. Yeah, I do too. But there's some days where I'm like, I try some of this stuff. Like I go to these vegan restaurants sometimes because of my friends, and it's not bad. I just wish that I knew how to cook that stuff. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, when you go to those vegan restaurants and you eat something good, it's usually because it's not good for you. A lot of the vegan food is not good for you. It's like fried and just, I don't know. My cousin Trisha was a nutritionist, right? She went to school for it. She worked for Nestle for a while, and she was trying to explain to me at one time. She goes, the food pyramid is kind of bullshit. They change it all the time based on the subsidies that the government hands out to these farmers. So that's all wrong. The food pyramid is all wrong. I said, really? She's like, yeah. She's like, the food pyramid should be cut in half. And, you don't need all this wheat. You don't need it. I eat lots of fruits and vegetables, though. Yeah, well, that's, you got to be careful with that, too. Because of the fructose, right? I think it's fructose. I don't think it's fructose. I think it's fructose. But yeah, there's great stuff in vegetables like pectin. The pectin from the apple is probably one of the besides the vitamin C, of course. I mean, everyone needs vitamin C, but you can get that anywhere. But the pectin alone is worth the eat of the apple. And then of course you got the banana with all the potassium. And as you know, you need potassium to build muscle, to grow muscle, or to repair muscle. You also need fructose. The fructose basically goes into your muscle and stores itself, and your muscles use it as energy. Now, when you have a lot of fructose, you have a lot of energy, and you get that from vegetables and fruits. Now, if you have too much fructose, that's bad. That is bad. And again, this is 2003 nutrition. This is nutrition from 2003. At the time, I remember eating my weight in grams of protein. Which now, if you were to do that, the doctor would say, slow down. You don't need to be doing that. Your body doesn't need that much protein. My brother's a severe diabetic. His potassium got low, and it ate his. Yeah. So whenever we get like cramps, they tell you to eat a banana. And the reason why they're telling you to eat a banana is for the potassium. So there's potassium supplements you could take, but I used to take this gel. It was like this. It looked like molasses. It tasted like shit. And I used to add it to my my protein shakes. But I did try to take it spoon by spoon, and it's so bad. Yeah, you need the potassium. I remember when I had that issue with my kidney, the doctor told me, you probably don't want to work out as much. I was like, what do you mean? Like, you're going to put a lot of strain on your kidney. A lot of strain. And that's what, that's one of the reasons why I had to stop. Because I was doing it, I was at the point where I thought to myself, if I did every muscle group in my body every day, I wouldn't give it a break. I was young enough to repair myself extremely fast. And every muscle in my body responded perfectly. I got to that point. I was climbing mountains with my fingers. I swear to God. One time I was doing one finger pull-ups. And that's the best feeling in the world. These people that, when I see people like Bergs, I think to myself, I'm like, wow, that guy's missing out on life. He can be doing one-fingered pull-ups, but he can't because all his muscles aren't firing correctly. And when your muscles don't fire correctly, your brain gets stupid because your brain's controlling all that shit. If that part of your brain isn't active, you get slow and dumb. Yes, one finger, Blazing. One finger. I was the king of doing one-arm pull-ups, chin to back of head. The back of the head pull-up was the toughest. I think I want to relax a little bit. Maybe we'll listen to a soothing tune. Yeah, we'll listen to a soothing tune. I'm going to light up a cigarette and we'll be back here.
Negativity, my vision turning ugly, repeating my
You know what I was thinking about? I was thinking about like the next Civil War, right? I really believe that the next Civil War, if it does happen, it's going to be East versus West. If that makes any sense. I don't think it's going to be North versus South. And then you're going to get these states that are going to be in between, like Colorado. They're like, we don't know what to do. And then either the North or the annex Colorado. And say, you'll do what we tell you to do. What do you think about that? There would be constant attacks on Silicon Valley, Cupertino. The Golden Gate Bridge will be no more. And we'll win because Arizona's filled with Easterners, filled, and they're like one of the dirtiest Easterners. So it will be East versus West. I can promise you that. Oh, and what will Noodles be doing? I'll be trying to get out of every situation possible, and I'll use my dyslexia. I'll use my back as an issue, whatever, and I will float through the Civil War like no one has ever floated through a Civil War before. And they'll be like, Noodles, but you have to go fight. I'd be like, yeah. So, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know if I can follow orders or directions. I'm gonna get someone killed. And they're gonna be like, well, you're an artist, right? Well, why don't you start drawing for the cause? Be like, yeah, but I have this stigmatism in my eye, and I don't want to possibly mess something up for you guys. And they'd be like, well, it would just get old, and they'd eventually stop asking. The last Civil War didn't have AK-47s, that's right. Or drones. Drone. Can you imagine? Can you imagine if there was a drone war, dude? I remember watching this documentary on the future of wars, right? And the military believes that the future war is with nanotechnology, right? And they wouldn't elaborate. So, or the future weapon is with nanotechnology. So I guess the thing that's going to trump the nuclear bomb is nanotechnology. And there was someone who was speculating, right? There was someone who was speculating. The reason why they're saying that is because they want to be able to activate a cell. So they can basically say, they can turn these cells into zombies, kind of. Like give them a directive, and the cells would obviously eventually make their way to somewhere in the world, right? And it would know which person to kill when it infected the person. So you can basically say, I want this person dead, I want this person dead. There'll be a hit list. And it might take a few years for the person to finally come in contact with these cells or these organisms or whatever the fuck you want to call them. But that person's dead. That person will have to go into outer space to get away from this stuff. And when I heard this, and when I hear people talk about this vaccine, all right, and how it's the number of the beast and whatever, I don't think they're that far off. Imagine if they do inject you with something, right, where they can flick a switch and say, kill you. With nanotechnology. They could do it. Nanotechnology is the future. And everyone knows it. Anyone who's smart knows that nanotechnology is the future. Not electric cars. It's nanotechnology. you could basically get a piece of metal, and program it. You don't need any boards anymore. You don't really need it. You can program stuff just by releasing these organisms in the air. You could program everything on this planet, everything, as long as you know how to alter something through these things that are floating through the air. So, for instance, you might be able to influence nature. You might be able to influence, weather, whatever. And if you're really smart, you'll know that the end comes when human beings master black matter or dark matter. And every smart scientist will tell you that that is the progression in which human beings are going in. We're trying to reach planets. That's nothing. That's nothing compared to what's going to happen. They're going to control the universe. So someone could breathe a bunch of nanobots. Yeah, they were saying that they can make them so small that they can actually go through solid objects. Because a solid object isn't really solid. There's always holes or pores in it. But they're saying they could be that small that this shit can get through that stuff. And if you could program one of them, let's say there was one cell, this really nasty organism or whatever that got in your body, and it knew exactly what to do. It was programmed, and it knew exactly who you were. And as soon as it touched you, it started working. Oh my God, dude, that's worse. That's worse than any nuclear bomb, dude. When I heard that, I was like, oh my God, this is what they're planning? I remember there was this one person that was analyzing the comment that was made, and they go, you got to remember that all governments, human beings, we've been trying to figure out for as long as we've been here how to kill things faster, more easier, more efficient. That's true. But I truly believe now that the world is actually talking about going to other planets. They're obviously not going to stop there. They're going to keep on going and going. They're going to want to rule everything. They're going to put their flags on it. They're going to say it's ours. They're going to protect it. And guns don't really work in space. I don't think it's possible. So what are they going to use? I believe it's nanotechnology. Could be wrong. Like it was programmed to eat your organs from the inside out. I don't know. Maybe do something like that. Maybe it doesn't take much to kill someone. Maybe go straight to your brain. Imagine if you could make these things fucking explode. I don't know. Dude, Stoney, check it out. Check out nanotechnology warfare. Oh, that was all that spaghetti I ate last night. Oh, guys, and by the way, so I get the spaghetti, right? And I'm like, let me get some sauce. So they had sauce from Patsy's. Patsy's is a well-known Manhattan establishment. And I've been there before. It was great. It was very good. If you go there, get the meatballs and get the personal pizzas. So anyway, I'm like, oh, they got Patsy sauce here. Let me just grab that. I can't go wrong with that. I bring it back. I'm eating it. I'm like, this tastes like perfume. Perfume. I don't know if someone dumped something in the vat or didn't clean it out properly. Never again, Patsy's. Never again. John's up. Oh, now I got a shit. And you know, going back to what we were saying about the East versus West, I mean, this is going to be, you think about what's going on in the Middle East, right? There's been wars nonstop with guys that just make bombs and they run around with AK-47s. I mean, how long have wars been going on over there? You can't get rid of it. It doesn't matter what kind of, but I believe if you had nanotechnology and you knew, hey, listen, you get out of line, we don't have to do much. You can stay over there. We'll make sure that you stay over there. Janet Reno wrote a paper about infiltrating countries or something like that. And I think this was after Waco. All right, not Janet Reno. What the fuck was her name? Was it Janet Reno? No. Anyway, it was one of those bitches that was like attorney general, and she talked about how it would be a lot easier if we can just spray a chemical, knock everyone out, and just walk in. You wouldn't have to go through. Losses, mass losses, destruction of equipment. Whatever. All you have to do, spray something, and then walk right in. That's it. So, as you know, in Russia, they did something like that. There was a terrorist attack where I think they went into a school, or no, a theater. They went into a theater and held everyone hostage, and they're killing people or something like that. So the Russians say, you know what, fuck this. We're just gonna fucking throw some chemicals in there, knock everyone out, and ended up killing like half the people there or something like that. But the Russians did that, and that was like back in the late 90s, I think. Late 90s, early 2000s. It was Janet Reno? Okay, yeah. So I mean, they've been doing this. They had to have been doing this. This isn't something that, and it's probably effective. And they think, you know what? Instead of having to go in and gather up these people before they wake up, let's just kill them. You know what's messed up? These people that we trust to like run the country and all this crap. They're like sitting down contemplating who to kill next, right? You realize that, right? Like they're okaying the deaths of human beings around the world. That scares me. Yeah. Oh yeah, it spread very fast. I remember in January they were saying that it was an animal to human virus, and that shit. Everyone was like, you know what? It's animal to human. It's not a big deal. And these doctors were saying, no, dude, it's human to human. That doesn't make any sense that no one was listening to these doctors, And I think around the end of January, that's when they started doing they stopped people from coming in the country. But at that time, it was too late. It sucks because there's like this like COVID thing that we have on our phones at work, and it shows us like the cases day by day, and it gets given like the count as it's going up and stuff. And dude, all this shit's spiking again, especially in New York. All this shit's spiking again. And I kind of feel like you're going to find out that the vaccines weren't working, or there was a bad batch or something. I mean, they did it very quick. They had to. There has to be some kind of error there. There has to be a margin of error. And you got to remember that people are getting this shot, and they're walking around thinking like, oh, everything's fine. No, it's not. And that's, it's scary. Now I'm starting to see how disrespectful people were before about spreading their germs around. Now it's a lot easier to go to your employment and say, hey, listen, I'm not feeling good today. They're like, no, stay home. They don't want to push it anymore, That's why I'm afraid of there being booster shots like every year. Dude, I guarantee you, man. I guarantee you. This isn't like a polio vaccine. I think that's what they want you to believe, but I mean, I hate to say this, but I feel like the people who are going to die are going to die off, and there's nothing you can do about it. And they were saying that if anyone ever comes out and says this was planned, this was organized, all this stuff, just to let you know, this virus killed more people in the United States than people or Americans died in World War II. Just so you know that. And it did that in like, I think, a year? In 1 year? So if that ever gets out, man, think about that. I mean, you want to talk about a war. And I think, listen, I think that's something to be scared about, finding out the truth on that. Or having someone lie, and start World War friggin' 3. I mean, can you imagine if China came out and said, yeah, that we did that on purpose? Can you imagine that? Like, if you wanted to start a war, that's an excellent way to start a war. But then again, if I didn't want a war, I would say, well, we have to investigate this, because you can't just make claims like that. And we'd investigate and say, we found no evidence. We found no evidence. Why would they be lying? I don't know, because it's China. That's what I would say. China's trying to get us into a war. They're trying to become a world power. We're not going to fall for it. And the next move is going to be where China is actually going to do some kind of attack on a vessel. And then we're going to have to say, oh, no, it was a mistake, blah, blah, blah. And China's like, no, we want to start a war with you. We're really fucking with you. That statistic is beyond crazy. I was surprised chaos didn't ensue. Well, I think that's why they didn't want to call it the Kung flu and stuff like that, or the Chinese flu. I mean, think about it. We had the Spanish flu. Why not say the Chinese flu? They knew that was a possibility. I think that's why they gave the president so much shit for saying that. Not because it was racist. Now all of a sudden there's all this yellow hate and stuff, or whatever they're calling it. Dude. That shit's been going on for a while. I go into these areas, and if you're an Asian, you're a target. You're a big target. They're pretending like this is happening now. That's why you have a lot of Asian communities. They all live together because they get picked on. They get picked on by certain people, specific people. And I have to be a pussy about this and not run my mouth because someone's going to get offended. But we all know who I'm talking about. But they're good at math, right? I remember 20 years ago, people saying these analysts on all these radio shows and all these TV shows, they were saying, yeah, war with China, it's not going to happen because they can't feed all their troops. Like, it's impossible. Like, there's like, blah. And I'm looking at this stuff. I'm like, dude, they're spending billions and billions of dollars on ripping us off. Like, all their technology comes from us. They just steal it. If you look at all their planes, their boats, they're just exact replicas of ours. So basically what they're doing is they're mimicking us, right? They're gonna get it to the point where they can feed everyone. And then they're gonna beat us by outnumbering us. That's it. That's how they're gonna do it. They're going to beat us with numbers. They're very good at math. They don't have to be better than us. You understand what I'm saying? They don't have to be better than us. They don't have to have a better military. All they need are the numbers. If they become on par with the United States militarily, right? It's game over. It's game over. And all they have to do is keep stealing our technology, mimicking us. That's it. That was good coffee. There was another analyst that was talking about riots that were going on in the Middle East. So they would have an embassy, and there would be riots day and night, like people just out there freaking throwing shit. There were burning, setting stuff on fire. It was very dangerous. So I think this guy was like a CIA analyst, or like he was ex-CIA. And he goes, what they got to do, and this was so funny because it's so easy. He goes, what you got to do is get rid of all the food carts. And they're like, what? Like, yeah, if you get rid of all the food carts, these people aren't going to have water there. They're not, they're going to have to go home. Like they're eventually going to have to go home. So you get rid of the water, the food. I think 3 days without water, you're not moving. You're not going anywhere. I think that's how a lot of the Civil War battles were actually won, where they the Northerners would poison the rivers, because they knew that the Confederate soldiers would be drinking out of it. They would have to use it to cook, to eat. So they would fucking throw dead bodies or whatever in the fucking river and go down, and these people would get sick, and then they would just fucking have these battles and they would win. Yes, Tony, I know. I held on to that piece of knowledge for a very long time. Very long time. I thought it was very intelligent. Like this is why they I knew someone who actually I studied with. The guy was super intelligent, right? Super intelligent. And he's told me that he got a job interview when he was in his 20s, and it was for the CIA. And the CIA wanted to hire him. And at the time, he said he was studying and all this stuff, and he didn't want to do it. I was like, how do you get hired by the CIA? He goes, oh, they give you tests. I'm like, well, yeah, but like, what kind of test? He goes, it depends what they want to use you for. You know, if you wanted to do linguistics or whatever, they would bring you in, they would record you, they would do all this stuff, and you know, they would give you all these tests, and they would give you a score. So, for instance, you could score native in Mandarin and get hired by the CIA. The CIA would use you for something. What he got hired for was problem solving. So they would give him a scenario, and they would say, "Well, how do you get out of this? What do you do? Like, what's the best thing for you to do here?" And that's what these people are thinking. They don't see the fire. They don't see the rocks being thrown. You know. And when I remember, I had to do a stop it. I had to do a report on like the crap that was going on in the Middle East. And I remember at the time there was a kid that was shot because he threw a rock. And they're like, "How do you fix this?" And I remember saying, in the essay, right? I said, "Get rid of all the rocks. Make sure there's no rocks on the ground." And I remember my teacher was appalled. And I'm like, "No." I'm like, if you get rid of those rocks, that kid, what was that kid going to do? Give the guy the finger? He threw the rock and the guy shot him. The soldier shot him. You know you're not going to get rid of their guns. I made that teacher cry. I did. So we had to do an essay on the Great Depression, right? And the essay was supposed to be about how, like, you were living in the Great Depression and the things that really bothered you during the Great Depression, and you know. And I remember thinking to myself, these people during the Great Depression must have been so disgusting, so gross. They weren't bathing, they weren't eating properly. I remember them telling us in high school that they were boiling shoes and eating the leather. They were boiling shoes and eating the leather. So my essay was about how, you know, New York City at the time must have really smelled. It must have really stunk. And I thought that when stuff like that happens, you should switch over to either a communist or a socialist government until it's all worked out, and then switch back. And she got very angry at me. She's like, "These people smelled?" I'm like, "Yeah, they had to have smelled. They didn't have enough money to eat. They weren't buying soap. They weren't buying perfumes. They were probably jumping in the Hudson River to get clean. And the Hudson River is disgusting. The Hudson River at the time, even right now, is filled with shit and piss." All right, come on. You guys gonna go outside? peeps and poops. No, get in the back. Get in the back. Sorry, hold on. Let me get these fucking dogs inside. All right, come on. Come on, let's get cookies. Come on. Good boys. Wishbone, come on. Wait, hold on for a second. I'm going to lock them outside. I'm going to put them in the backyard. Yeah, so I'm a very good problem solver. Very good problem solver. I should have gotten an A for that. An A. And then I remember doing an essay on Hitler, right? And they're like, how can we make sure that this never happens again? And my essay was basically about how we're always told that history repeats itself, and there's really nothing you can do about it. There's going to be another Hitler. There's going to be another person like that. You just got to be ready for it. I got an F for that one. She got so mad at me for that one. She's like, what do you mean? What do you mean, what do I mean? You guys tell us all the time history repeats itself. So there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to be ready for when it happens. She didn't like that. I think that's the one that made her cry. I think she had enough of me at that point. And I remember being like, don't cry. And I hugged her. I'm like, I'm sorry, I love you. And then, she was so mad. So mad. Oh, and I had to do I got commissioned to do an art project for smoking, like an anti-smoking ad, right? So I was serious about this too. I thought it was great. So it was going to be two kids, right? One kid was really, really cool. So I drew him wearing a leather jacket, like he was leaning up against the wall, all the girls were around him, and he had a cigarette. He had a cigarette in his mouth, right? He had sunglasses on, his hair slicked back, all that stuff, right? And in the next one, it was a kid, a really dorky kid in a wheelchair, right? And it said, I might be in a wheelchair, but at least I don't smoke. And then it said, don't smoke underneath it. Oh man. That stayed up on the wall for about 2 days until someone found out, or someone was like, wait a second. Get that off of there. I remember I got talked to about that. They're like, what are you doing? What do you want to be doing? You guys asked me to make a friggin' non-smoking ad, or and they're like, yeah, but Dave, come on. I was like, no, it's good. They're like, well, we can't put it up. Sorry, you're gonna have to do another one. And I refused because I was an artiste and I wasn't gonna allow man to have to do art. Fodder. Yeah, I know, dude. Wake up, dude. Stop sleeping and wasting the day away. Dude, I'm up. I'm up. Relax. So there was that one. I'm trying to think if I did anything else that was kind of cool that I got in trouble for. Yeah, that's about it. Oh, in elementary school, right? This is when I started realizing these people were assholes, right? And they were going to try to stop me from being the most artistic man in all of Bergen County. And it was during middle school. So in middle school, I believe the mural's still up there. I guarantee it's still up there at George White Middle School. So I was commissioned to do a senior, whatever the fuck, mural for the class of 19 whatever, right? So I do this thing and I put all these characters in there, and I put this black guy in there, right? And I basically took a picture of Bootsy Collins, and I was like, I've never really drawn a black guy before, but let me do Bootsy Collins, right? So at the time I was drawing all comic book characters, and all the comic book characters I was drawing were white, or monsters or something like that. I never drew a black guy. So I get this picture of Bootsy Collins, and I start, drawing away, and my art teacher's like, oh, that's nice. So this is a cartoon character, right? And I was like, well, yeah, we're kind of doing I don't want to, yeah, that's kind of what we're doing here. She's like, oh, you think about making this guy's lips a little smaller? I'm like, what are you talking about? Look at the fucking picture. Bootsy Collins has some of the biggest lips ever. And he wears these glasses. And look at his hair. This guy's a cartoon character. So she stops arguing with me. And about a week later, the principal comes up to me, Mr. Sands. Mr. Sands comes up to me and he goes, Mr. Buldo, this is how this guy talked. Yes. So I was looking at your mural. It's beautiful. Beautiful, Mr. Buldo. But do you think that maybe you can make the lips a little bit smaller on the Bootsy Collins character? And I said, yeah, okay, I'll do that, Mr. Sands. Blew the guy off. He's like, good boy. And he patted my shoulders and walked away. So I fucking said, fuck this guy, I'm not listening to him. So I just did it the way I wanted to do it. It goes up. About a month later, they take it down. They bring me into the classroom, right? And they say, make the lips smaller. And I got all these teachers standing around me. And they're telling me, no, smaller. Smaller than that. A bunch of white teachers, by the way. A bunch of white teachers. And that's when I knew. That's when I knew that the man was going to always try to restrict my art. They stood around me. I was, how old are you when you were in 6th grade? Or, I'm sorry, 8th grade? Very unsettling. Botter, what's wrong? No one wants to listen to you. Botter, I'm not talking. Botter, this is a show about my life, Botter. This is a show about my life. This isn't a Boyd show. All right, guys, let's listen to the soothing melodic music of 14-year-old Noodles. Let's listen to 14-year-old Noodles. The guitar player there actually is a famous author now. I can't really tell you guys his name, but he's a famous author. We were, no joke, probably 13 or 14 years old when we did that. It was copywritten in 1995 through Punk Rock Records, and it was issued in 1996 on a compilation, and then we broke up. Those were children doing that. You realize that, right? Those were children doing that. I was a child at the time. People were blown away. That was think about it. That was in 1994. 1994. A child did that. What were you doing in 1994? Graduating high school? Possibly getting pregnant? Starting a new job? Noodles was making very aggressive music and pissing people off to the max. So many people got jealous. I even got death threats back then. I used to get death threats back then. I used to have a mailing address that all my fans could reach out to me. I remember going through the mall. I couldn't go through the mall anymore without people stopping me and saying, "Hey, aren't you that kid?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's me. What's up?" Let's listen to some more 14-year-old Noodles. So basically what happened was we were getting a lot of requests to play with these bands that were coming in from out of country, right? Because I guess in Japan, people thought it was cool that there were these white children that did this. It became like kind of a novelty. We're very, very big in Japan. Everyone's very big in Japan. I'm telling you, we were becoming a novelty in Japan. And that's when there was the interest in the documentary that was done about me. And, what happened is you get older and people get jobs and then no one could do it anymore. And people were kind of reluctant to have us play because there was a couple times where our parents wouldn't let us go. Like it got to the point where we used to get this older woman to take us to go to all the shows. And she used to do the photography and all this stuff, and we'd have to go meet her at this A&P in my town. We'd all meet up at my house, and we'd go to the A&P in my town, and then fucking this woman would pick us up and bring us into like fucking Newark or Brooklyn or whatever. And we go play these shows. We would stash our equipment at our friend's house, And then we had another guy pick up our equipment and meet us at the place. So it was very hectic for a 14-year-old kid. 15-year-old kid. It was very hectic. Oh my god, I gotta let this dog in. I'll be right back. Let's listen to some soothing music. Be right back.
Baby was a black sheep, baby was a whore. Baby got big and baby gets bigger. Baby gets something, baby gets more. Baby was a rock and roll nigga. Look around you, all around you. Riding on a copper wave. Do you like the world around you? Are you ready to behave? Outside of society, they're waiting for me. Outside of society, that's where I wanna be. Lenny!
Baby was a black sheep, baby was a whore. You know she got big, well she's gonna get bigger. Baby got a hand, got a finger on the trigger. Baby is a rock and roll nigga.
Outside of society, that's where I wanna be. Outside of society, they're waiting for me.
Those who have suffered understand suffering and thereby extend their hand. The storm that brings harm also makes fertile. Blessed is the grass and herb and the tree of thorn and light.
I was lost in the valley of pleasure. I was lost in the infinite sea. I was lost in measure for measure. Nothing is harder than me. I was lost, and the cost didn't matter to me. I was lost, and the cost was to be of that society. Jimi Hendrix, I was a nigga, but Jesus Christ and Grandma too. But Jackson Pollock, I was a nigga. Outside of society, they're waiting for me. Outside of society, if you're looking, that's where to find me.
Outside of society,
They're waiting for me.
outside of society.
All right, dude, come on. Knock it off. Stop. So, all right, hold on. Let me see who this is. I'm sure it's Botter, so let's do this. Hey, Botter. What's up?
Fuck you.
Was that you calling me at 2 in the morning?
No one cares about your life. Let's talk about Boyd.
No, dude. We made a deal. I told you I'm not talking about Boyd. Done with that. This is all about me. This is something that you requested a long time ago, and you know what? I'm giving it to you.
Dude, that wasn't our deal. The deal was that you would stop doing streams.
All right. Well, this is promoting my life now. This isn't anything crazy. I'm not ruining someone's life by telling you about my life.
Yet you are still doing it, so whatever. Fuck you. And fuck your shitty life.
No.
Yes.
All All right, listen. I'm smoking my last cigarette. Then I'm out of here. Right?
I'm going
be
to
out of
end
here.
this live stream.
Hmm.
I'm going to end this live stream.
No, just relax, dude. Give me a couple minutes. I just want to relax, have a cigarette. That's it.
No.
Botter, you know what? Woody's right. Please stop.
Stop smoking. You are gonna get cancer.
Thank you. I know. So, you want to hear another story about, you know? Oh man.
No.
Wait, I don't know. What?
No. No.
I think about these bizarre things that happen in my life, Botter, and I think, like, has anyone else gone through this?
No one cares about your shitty life.
So, you know, when you get
Shut
when
up.
you get to
No one cares. End this.
all right, I'm gonna go.
End this live.
All right, I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Cell block 4. There's a town, we'll go right through the floor. We'll be in Mexico a week and a half. We're gonna sit back and laugh. Oh yeah. 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 Look like the end for me. The last meal's coming, it's a chicken and rice and beans. Ow, well, it's a drag, I know, but everybody